Hey guys, it's me. So recently I worked on a 2008 PT Cruiser that is made by Chrysler. I replaced the shift solenoid, which is essentially a computer that controls the pressure inside the transmission. When I replaced it, I took off the customer's airbox, which they had ratcheted strapped down and had used a C-clamp to keep it closed, even though it would have stayed closed because it still had a clip attached to it. But that's not the point. So in order to do this job, what you need to do is you need to remove the airbox. First, disconnect your battery, always. You want to disconnect the battery at the negative terminal because you don't want it to be able to ground. If it grounds and you touch something metal with yourself, as we generate electricity, or with a metal tool or something like that, it will cause issues and it will arc your battery, or worse, it could arc your computer. So you definitely always want to take it off from the left-hand side, not the left-hand side, from the negative side of the terminal on the battery and or the black cable, usually. It depends on the vehicle. So here I am removing the battery. You can see that I am disconnecting it first and foremost. So you want to do that. That step is very important, as I mentioned earlier. And then you're going to want to, what I do is I take the nut and I put it right back over where the terminal goes in so that it doesn't get lost and I know where it is. So I removed the battery, took it out completely, and then I tucked my positive terminal out of the way so that I could get to the plate beneath the battery to remove that. These were little 10 millimeter bolts. There were about 6 of them. And I palmed the ratchet because really you want to use a much smaller ratchet when you're dealing with small bolts. Pretty much the smaller the bolt, the smaller the ratchet, the bigger the bolt, the bigger the ratchet. So with that being said, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and take this plate out, which sits below the battery. It's basically what the battery sits on, and it sits on top of the frame piece that holds the battery in and keeps it from moving. So basically you have your airbox that's stacked, then you have your battery that's also stacked on top of a little metal plate that is stacked on top of a bracket that attaches to the frame of the vehicle. This allows for the battery not to move, not to fall out, not to go anywhere whenever you're driving. So anyhow, taking out the frame piece, what I found to be the best option here was on the right hand side, the two that are easy to get to. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and do those from the top, and then the ones on the left hand side, oh sorry, I got that backwards. If you're facing the vehicle like I am in this video, you're going to want on the right hand side to do it from the top, and the left hand side you're going to want to lift the vehicle all the way up, and you're going to want to go ahead and take them off that way. This is the way that I found to be easiest. It definitely made a really big difference. And then once you get down to the shift solenoid itself, remove the 3 bolts and make sure you torque it to spec. This is a very important step.